for Erica Sparrow's podcast.
Oh, fun.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready? What is on your shirt? Sunday gravy? Is that a pizza place? It's you made that logo. What were you selling? Rap albums.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, Philly white rapper. What's
too
up?
much. It's too much, Fonzie.
It's too much.
You can't be that trashy.
Yeah,
it's
too
not
much.
allowed.
Roll it back. Roll it back.
I mean, it just
Keep
gets
it
worse
closed.
and worse
Keep closed.
every single week. Okay. No, but I love you. Never change. You trashy boy. Okay. Andrea Allan, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for doing it. This is very exciting. We've been buddies for a long time.
Yeah.
You got a hot pink jacket on.
I'm here.
I love it.
I'm loud.
It's great.
Yeah.
As you should be.
Yeah.
You got a new podcast coming out called Dog Pig.
Dog Pig.
Everybody check it out. Andrew's very funny on
Thank
stage
you.
and off.
Thank you.
And yeah, she's another tall lady, just like myself.
Yeah, we both have a good resting butch energy.
Yes.
I feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Yours is, I think, because you're like 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah.
So you're taller than me.
Am I taller than you?
Oh, yeah. I'm 5'8".
That's how you can tell I respect you, because I think that you're taller than me. I'm like, wow, she's like a monument.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's very true.
It's a power move.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you have tall energy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's funny. My friend, have you ever met Caitlin McKee?
No, I don't think so.
She's a comic. We started together. I haven't seen her in a long time, but she's in the art world. She's an artist.
Oh, yeah.
She's maybe 5'3",
Okay.
maybe 5'4".
Yeah.
And we were starting together. We were walking, and she was just like, yeah, I mean, like for girls like us, there's something about height. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, we're the same height. And I was like, what?
In what world, you tiny bitch?
I was like, and I looked at her. I was like, come closer to me.
Yes.
And she came up and she's like at my chin.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, oh, I always thought we were the same height. I was like, you think very little of me.
Yeah,
Caitlin
no,
McKee.
you think I'm a tiny little
Yeah.
wimp. Do
No.
people take you more seriously because you're like, tall and have like a presence to you? Do you feel that way?
I have no idea because
Yeah.
I've never been anything else.
That's a good point.
You know?
Yeah.
I sometimes wonder because people talk down to friends who are smaller.
Yeah.
So I wonder maybe if I was smaller, if they would talk down to, but I'm also very abrasive. So
Same. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
small people who are scrappy, who I
Yes.
feel like they get a lot of respect.
yeah. Like
so.
Rosebud Baker.
Yes.
She's small, but you don't want to fuck
I'm
with
so
Rosebud.
scared of Rosebud Baker.
She's so funny and so nice.
I know she is so nice. That's what's funny.
Yeah.
But she's given me great advice. She's been so kind to me.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, don't cross that woman.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah. She's just nothing but to the contrary to this evidence that she is just the nicest person. She's done nothing to offer that she
Nothing.
might be mean.
No.
And we're still like, no, she's got tall girl energy.
Respect her.
Yeah.
She's deadpan, which makes insecure people freak out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would imagine.
When people are like quiet and like they choose their words in a
Mhm.
very thoughtful way. Like I felt like when I was younger and I was around Rosebud Baker, I'd be like, how's it going? She would be like, chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's sweet though.
Well, Andrea, thanks for coming on. Where are you from?
I'm from Vancouver. I'm Canadian.
You're Canadian?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually insane.
Wild.
I once posted on Facebook back in the day. This
Uh-huh.
will, give context to how long ago this was. I had just met Sam Evans. This
Uh-huh.
was early in comedy. And I posted a status that said, isn't it crazy that I'm Canadian and Sam Evans is not?
Uh-huh.
But I didn't realize I didn't tag him. So now I just was like free journaling about Sam Evans. And he like DM'd me being like, why are you writing about me on Facebook? And I was like, I don't know.
I forgot to tag you.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, I didn't know how Facebook worked.
Yeah.
And I had a crush on this guy in college.
This is already embarrassing.
I know.
Yeah.
And I had seen him around like campus. He
Yeah.
was obvious. He was like a tall
Yeah.
Adonis. He was on the volleyball team. He was gorgeous,
Mhm.
and so he's hard to miss. So I
Yeah.
always saw him and I was like, ooh. And then I finally met him. And so I messaged him.
Oh boy.
I messaged him, hey, it was great to meet you.
Yeah.
Would love to see you again. Or
Uh-huh.
like something like that. Just
Yeah,
something
yeah.
very innocent.
Little poke.
And and
Yeah.
my friend was like, you messaged him that? That's insane. You got
Yeah.
to write on his wall. What are you doing?
Oh, really?
I didn't know. I had no clue.
Okay. To me, the message is like a little like, this is sexual. because if I posted on your wall, everyone would see it.
Yeah, now I'm like,
I
no,
agree
the
with
message
you.
was the better
The
thing.
message was the move.
But
Yeah.
back then I was like, I'm an idiot. But he did get back. He was a very nice man. He got back to me.
Do you ever get it in?
No.
I'm so sorry.
No. He was golden.
Yeah. There's when I think about Facebook messages, because your podcast obviously is about drunk stuff, and I used to really get on Facebook Messenger and tell people how I felt when I was in a blackout.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. It's like one of the most painful. Like I've done mean things, bad things, things are not in character when I was drinking, but like having the evidence there is really like tough.
Yeah.
Like I was in love with this guy forever, and like he liked like Noam Chomsky. He was like a political, counterculture. It was the first time I'd like met someone like that, like in New York City. Canadian, like very innocent, Ugg boots, blonde hair.
Yeah.
Totally different vibe. And I remember like quoting Noam Chomsky to him and being like, I find you very attractive. It was just like,
Did he respond?
Yeah, and it was like, cool. Like it was very all right.
Oh God.
Take it down a notch.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very like, I think there was words like breathtaking. Like it was like love letter. Yeah, it was really bad. It was really bad. Like I was like listening to Joni Mitchell and like crying and being
never
like,
a good
just
combo.
tell him how you feel.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
Andrea, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. Oh, I take it you never saw that guy again.
I dated him for 2 years.
What?
But like I didn't here's the thing. I didn't like date him. I like fucked him constantly and like went to all his shows. He was a musician and like was in love with him, and he wouldn't like officially date me. And so I was just like this doormat that he would constantly. It was very painful. But I look back, and to your point, he was like 5'4" and just very charismatic and like, was a goth. I'd never like fucked a goth before, and that was like very exciting.
Today's the day.
It was.
I'm gonna fuck a goth.
He took me to like a warehouse party, and I'm like, I'm gonna fuck this goth and ascend into the person that I've always wanted to be. So yeah,
it's surprising that you've never. Or how old were you when this happened?
Like 21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
like,
that's your first goth era.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I mean, like you could fuck anyone you want. Look at you.
Oh, thank you.
Look at it. Take a look at her, Fonz.
Look at me.
Yeah. You could fuck this piece of trash over here.
I'm deeply unhappy. It'll never be enough. You know what's fun about glowing up is you realize that it'll never be enough.
Yeah.
And then you get used to be treated a certain way because you got hot girl energy. Mm-hmm. And then it starts, if it diminishes in any way, you're like, I'll get Botox. I'll get fake tits.
Do you get Botox?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like it?
I do.
I'm thinking about it.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't want to get like a frozen face.
Yeah.
There's like frozen face, big lips, that whole thing.
Yeah.
I think that like more obviously ages you. Like I think it's like, oh, you are getting something done to your face because you feel shitty about it.
Yeah.
And I also don't like, I'm like, do whatever the fuck you got to do. For what we do, people are looking at you all the time. It's such a like fucking cruel industry for a woman. So I'm like, whatever you need, girl, I support it.
Yeah.
I'll take you there to get fucking Botox, whatever you need.
Mm-hmm.
But I was getting this like, I'm like constantly frowning. Like I'm just walking around being like, nah. Like I'm upset all the time. And so I got these called the key slot. So I got these lines here, and it was like bothering. Like I didn't think aging would bother me on the level that it does. And I'm mad. I'm so mad that it's bothering me so much. I'm like, are you serious? Really?
Yeah.
But like, it's so easy to be like feminism when you're like a hot 22-year-old.
Yeah.
Of course you think that like, nothing will ever bother you. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna get Botox right here. Mm-hmm. And I just felt better.
Yeah.
Like I wish that our society wasn't built the way that it was. I wish all things were different, but we live in the real world, and it's just made me feel better. So I'm like, I'm doing it.
That's great. Do it.
I'm shooting.
I know a lot of people who do it.
Yeah.
I was talking to a comic. I won't say their name, but because I don't know how much they divulge about this stuff.
Yeah.
But they were like, every single woman who is over the age of 35 in comedy gets Botox.
I believe
except for Jessica Kirsten.
Oh, to be a carefree lesbian with 6,000 kids already and a wife.
I know.
Oh, fuck the dream.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Wild. But yeah. So I was like, yeah. And then I was like, I don't know if I'd ever get it. And then now I'm like, I might get some.
It's fucking annoying. Like I like fixate on it, and I'm like, I'm annoyed that this is taking up space in my brain.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
it shouldn't take. Anyway, well, that's a different podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Botox and feminism.
Yeah. I know. I think anything you do is feminism as long as you want to do it.
Oh yeah. I have fake teeth. I have fake hair.
You
I have
fake teeth?
Botox. So look at these fucking. How is that
they look real?
Thank you. They're expensive.
I was gonna say, how much did those cost?
This is money.
Yeah. What happened to your teeth?
You'll like this. I got a dead tooth because I was playing rugby and some lady punched me in the face.
Good.
So I contain multitudes.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. You can do it all.
I can.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you played rugby.
Oh, it's the best.
I love it when a big woman meets her potential.
Oh. I would play. I mean, when I moved to New York, I looked for like rugby leagues, but there's none here. And I also was like, I don't know that I can walk around with a black eye all the time.
Yeah.
But it was, wow, to like feel the power of your own body in that way is like it's very fun and exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played soccer.
Oh yeah.
And so I joined a league when I was here.
Yeah.
And then I hurt my knee. I partially torn my meniscus or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And literally I was a bartender at the time, so I had to wear this brace, and I'm
sexy
wobbling around. And I'm like, well, I can't do this anymore.
You can't fuck your shit up when you live in the city. Like if you're fucked up in any way, it's you're taking Ubers, all that shit. It's not sustainable. Yeah. But,
yeah. So let's get back to Canada.
Yeah.
Canada. Were you a wild child?
Or
were you a good little Canadian girl?
Kind of a mix of the two, which is not uncommon for Canadians. Like, we're painfully polite, and like I think we mean it. Like, there's like a Southern polite that's like bless your heart, and there's Canadian polite that's like they'll be like, "How are you?" and you are like, "You mean that? Like, you want to know?"
Yeah.
So I was definitely like taught to, be very respectful, and like we're not loud in public, which is crazy for who I am now, but like but yeah, I went to an all-girls school for a very long time, so I was just like a weird little freak, and I wasn't a partier because I had very strict parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes. Particularly my father is like a very successful type A lunatic who just like I had to achieve, I had to get perfect grades, I had to like I was very much like a reflection of him and his reputation, so I was like terrified to get in trouble. But then at the same time I'm like a full-blown alcoholic, so I was like, I went to a boarding school also, so I was like getting suspended for getting hammered and like mooning the staff volleyball team. But I was also like valedictorian. Like it was like a weird mix of the two. So I think like the drinking was very much related to like the bizarre home dynamic.
Yeah.
But I was always able to like keep it front facing like together. So I think that's actually why I was like successfully a drunk for so long, is because I wasn't like, people view it as like you're lying on the streets in a putt, which I have done. But like, like if you keep a job, if you succeed by the metrics of like regular life, people are like, she's fine.
Yeah. It's not hindering her success.
No. Is she crying, getting fingered in a park by a guy she doesn't know? Yes.
But she gets to work on time.
Yes. She get, 4.0 GPA.
There we go.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you started drinking?
I'm going to say 14 maybe.
Wow, okay.
But like not like I wasn't cool. Like, so I wasn't getting invited to like cool parties.
Okay.
Like I didn't know how to talk to boys, again, like all girls school. But like me and my friends would like find booze like in the woods, or like
find them in the woods.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Do they grow them up in Canada?
There's maple syrup. There's booze on tap. Canada's a very drinking culture. It's kind of like Australia. I mean, it's Australia, the UK. They're all. It's very like you're nice and you're repressed and you do a good job, and then on the weekend you drink till you throw up all over yourself.
Yes,
in the woods.
Yeah.
I don't know why the woods just has things.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like porn, there's that like, that like men finding porn in the woods. Booze is in the woods too.
Booze is in the woods.
Cigarettes are there.
I guess if you're out there drinking, you're probably going to forget your booze out there.
Yeah.
And then, okay.
Someone else finds it. It's like a whole pay it forward situation.
I'd be too, as an American, I would be too afraid that someone pissed or spit in the booze.
Yeah. As Canadians don't. I mean, we do. But, but yeah, it's like an underground system.
Yeah.
That we're all sort of sharing booze. Yeah. And so I would, a lot of like, and my family drank. My grandfather particularly was a real booze hound.
Yeah.
So like I had wine like I could drink with my family. In a way, that sounds like weird, but like glass of wine with dinner was available to me at like 16. Like they tried not to like make it, a forbidden thing. But I mean, I was still just like, putting it back whenever I could. And then when I went to boarding school, that's when I started to like make cool friends. Like, ooh, these people like smoke marijuana.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They have sex in the forest.
Wait, how old are you when you lost your virginity?
20. But that's because I was a big weird loser. But like, I would like go and like walk my slutty friends to the forest and be like, have fun. I'm in love with your boyfriend, but that's fine. I'll stuff that down.
You guys want to tag me in?
Hey, anytime.
Yeah.
I mean, I asked the guy to prom and he said no. So that was like the energy of me in high school.
Oh, he said no? What a dick.
I know.
Did he go with someone else?
No. Which is
my
even worse.
God.
I know.
What a piece of shit.
know.
What's his name? Put it out there.
Jared. Fuck, what's his last name? I ended up getting drunk and fucking him in college, which was like, that's right, bitch. Somebody lost 20 pounds.
Good for you, Andrea.
I know.
Not the weight thing, but fucking the guy.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
it was great.
I'm happy. I'm so happy for
Thank
you.
It was good.
That's the best thing that could have happened.
I know.
Yeah, you're like, I got my fake teeth. I look good, and you are bald.
You're a bald piece of shit. And you should have appreciated me.
Yes.
I was definitely the quote unquote guy's girl. I mean, I also had lots of female friends, but I was always like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with you.
Yeah,
That's crazy that you think that, even though everyone knows it. So
yeah,
I had pretty low self-esteem. There was a lot of like things going on that I didn't understand. A lot of therapy has, come into play, but I was just, I was also the funny, like I'll do anything person. So like I would go to the house party and be like doing a keg stand and like chugging the weird Malort booze. You know what I mean? Like I always just wanted to be the funnest person. So I don't even know how many times I've blacked out. I wouldn't even begin to be able to give you that number. But that's
what we do on this podcast. We do stats.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Put them up there. How many times she's blacked out, fingered in the woods? What's going on?
God, so much getting fingered. Really is the
Really? A lot of getting fingered?
I love getting fingered,
really?
Dude. It's my shit. I'll take getting fingered over getting eaten out anytime.
What?
Anytime.
Really?
Yep.
Fascinating.
I don't vibrators I don't care about. Just a finger blast that's my shit.
What if he's bad at fingering? I guess you're not afraid to coach a man.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And I think also more guys are bad at eating pussy than dudes are bad at fingering. I think fingering has a much smaller range of like doing it horrifically. Okay. So I'm like, all right, this is probably a more guaranteed good time. So
okay. Well, I'm glad that you know that about yourself.
I do. I'm a grown woman. I'm an alcoholic and I love to be fingered. I'm 34
beautiful.
Years old.
What a combo.
And I know who I am.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. We should all strive for that kind of honesty and self-awareness.
I'm deeply insecure still.
Yeah.
I've frozen my face in half and I love getting fingered.
Perfect.
And that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's feminism right there.
It is. But yeah, I started drinking hard when I moved to New York. Like I was partying in high school and blacking out all the time, crying often. This is, oh my God, I forgot. I made a list of like the most regrettable things that I've done because of drinking. And I didn't even think of this one because it's so humiliating that like, when a memory's so bad that your brain is like, put it away.
Oh yeah.
Put it away.
It never happened.
Nope.
Don't worry about it.
No.
What happened?
Oh my God. Okay. So this is like one of the most pathetic things I've ever done. And not problematic, but it's in that neighborhood. So I was in love with Jared, the guy who said no to me and I later fucked, is bald.
Okay.
And
fuck you, Jared. I'm still so mad at Jared.
He's the centerpiece of a lot of drama.
Okay.
And so he like was walking up the stairs at a party, and he was absolutely hammered. And I was drunk, but not as drunk as him. He was like borderline alcohol poisoning level.
Yeah.
Where he's like falling and like his face is not moving correctly.
Yeah.
And so I was like helping him up the stairs and trying to like get him to drink water and all that stuff. And I was like, you're my best friend, you know. And then I got him into the bedroom, and then no, I'm kidding. I was like, and then I raped him.
I was like, this is turning. Cut it.
Well, no, I didn't do anything overtly sexual, but I like put him in bed and like was like petting his hair. I'm like, God. And then I lay in bed with him. I wedged myself like the little spoon. And I put his like passed out body like on me. Like I like draped him on me as if we were spooning. And then someone walked in and was like, Andrea, are you spooning a passed out drunk guy? And I was like, no, I fell asleep also.
Oh no. I don't know. I feel like that's emotional rape.
There's something deeply wrong with it. It's like, I want you to love me so much that I'm gonna like, I don't even know. It's like necrophilia. There's something so unsettling about it. Yeah. And like everyone knew. I mean, it was, oh my God.
You're like, well, I was just cold. And
yeah.
Or I have alcohol poisoning. You should cuddle me. That's how you fix it.
Yeah.
I'm a nurse.
We're drunk.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah,
It's something tough. Like that. There's something so humiliating about being like, no, I just want to be held.
Yes. It's way worse.
Yeah.
It's way worse. Yeah. It's like one of those moments when you're like, I can't believe I'm this person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, it's hard to know that I'm this.
Yeah.
But I am.
You're that.
So.
And it's beautiful.
Thank you.
You know what? It's okay. Wanting to be held, there's nothing wrong with
I'm
that.
doing better. I'm doing better.
Great. You're not just doing it with men.
Yeah,
You're doing it with men who are conscious.
Yes.
So happy for you.
Adults.
And adults.
Yep.
Was he 12?
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm not like
oh God,
cuddling
cut it again.
Passed out high school guys.
That was in high school?
It was in high school, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So,
well, then you get leeway.
Yeah.
Statute of limitations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We all do weird shit in
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
Middle school and high school, I feel like just don't judge them. It's all weird shit. You don't know what's going on.
Confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very confused. So then when I moved to New York, I was able to like, I think this is a lot of people's experiences when they didn't feel like they could be themselves in another place. They come here and like no one knows you.
Yeah.
So I was able to just like go out to fucking clubs all the time, go to bars. I was like making friends with all these different types of people.
Yeah.
And like having a fucking good time. Like I have a lot of great memories from being like this party bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, I used to go to like DIY music venues a lot. I used to like, I made friends with a lot of native New Yorkers in Queen. You know what I mean? Like I lived all these different little lives. And a lot of it was centered around like bar and drinking culture, which is fucking fun.
Yeah.
But it started to get sad, you know? I mean, there was always an underline of sadness.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think like my issues started to become more pronounced as I went. So,
well, let's take a look at this list.
Oh boy.
So you no longer drink anymore.
Yeah, I've been sober for 8 years. Thank you.
That's great. That's great.
If I threw a pizza at you during the years of 2000 to 2010, I'm sorry. But
threw a pizza.
I threw a pizza. That's not even close to on the list.
Oh,
it's a footnote. Not even close.
I'm excited for this list.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good list.
I'm going to give you the list, and then, you know what? You tell me if any of them appeal to you.
Okay.
So I have Tackled by the Cops.
Yes, start there.
Start right there. You're like, you know what? That's great. Fucking a married woman with her husband sleeping in the other room.
Wow.
Nipple piercing.
Okay.
Falling down a spiral staircase at a house party.
Okay.
And stealing $5,000 worth of drugs.
Okay, I take it back. Let's start with stealing $5,000 worth of drugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a fun one. I mean, I went to a design school. You went to art school as well,
yeah,
right?
I went to Pratt. Yeah.
Okay, so I went to Parsons. Same
Yeah.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know what Pratt students are like, but Parsons people are insufferable human beings. Especially I was in like the fashion school.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very like self-important.
Self-important rich kids is what.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I just like everyone bullied me. Like I was like an oddball, so that didn't help, but it was a very vicious place.
Really?
Yeah. There was a guy I remember once, like outside of the dorms. I was like smoking cigarettes and this guy came up to me. He's like, what are you doing this weekend? And I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna go to the park by myself. And he was like, of course you would. And I'm like, what?
Why not?
I didn't know you.
I love the park.
I know.
We have the biggest park in the goddamn world.
I have no friends. Please.
That tree's my friend.
Sincerely, I would sit in the park alone a lot. So I had no friends. Like I made friends with people outside of school because I was desperate. But I finally got invited to one of like cool like Parsons parties with all these people who I hated.
Yeah.
And I went with a friend who was like friends, but with them, but not like super close.
Yeah.
And so we were drinking, we were doing coke. We get in there. There's this girl. Oh God, was her name Holly? Yeah. I just remember because she had like a pig nose and I hated her. Like the ugliness on the inside and the outside
Yeah,
match.
and you're like, oh, thank God.
Oh God.
It's not fair when
God's
they don't.
warning.
Yeah.
So she came up to me and she's like, who are you? And I'm like, I'm Andrea. And she's like, whatever. I was like, what?
Jesus.
Who are these people?
What, is this just an episode of 90210?
It felt fake how mean they were. I
Yeah.
was like, I can't believe people are like this.
Yeah.
So I was drinking and I was doing coke with my friend and we were in the bathroom and I was just like, I'm going to steal these people's drugs. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, fuck these people. Like, and they're super wealthy. So there was a table in the middle of the party that had like a giant bag of weed, like cartoonishly huge, and a giant bag of coke.
Jesus.
Yes, they're leaving this out.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So my friend was like, you can't. And I was like, I can't. And I will. A lot of confidence.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't even really remember this, but my friend said he was like standing near to kind of like guard the table while I did this.
Uh-huh.
And so I just walked up to it, in his words, not mine. I just like swiped it into my purse, like seamlessly, casually, barely taking a beat, just like boom, right into my big fucking bullshit fake designer bag.
Yeah.
And then I walked out of the party. Like which was the perfect move because I walk out of the party. Like a few minutes later, they realize the drugs are gone. They lock the party down.
Wow.
And they're like, we're searching bags. These fucking drugs like are in this room and one of you stole it. And I'm like 10 avenues away fucking suck it. How are you going to relate to one another? You don't have cocaine, losers. Your bad personalities are going to be really shining.
Now you have to actually be sober.
Yes.
Fuck off.
Yes. And so I started just like, and I didn't realize this became like folklore, like legend at Parsons. They started a Facebook group called Who Stole the Weed. It was like people were pissed because it was so much money and I didn't realize I didn't know how much drugs cost. I didn't buy drugs regularly. I started doing drugs when I lived in New York. So I had no idea how much of a crazy thing it is to steal that much fucking drugs. And like a few years ago, one of the people that were at that party came up to me and I had told one of them years later being like, by the way, I stole the drugs. And the guy was like, what? He's like FaceTiming these people being like, Andrea Allan stole the drugs. So like, it's like common knowledge now. And this lady came up to me and she was like pissed. She's like, do you know how much money those drugs were? And I was like, eh. She's like, it was like $5,000 worth of drugs.
Why would you spend $5,000 on drugs?
Idiot. You're an idiot and leave it out on the table?
Yeah, you're so dumb.
And you're such an idiot. And I also was like, I'm not stealing drugs from fucking working class Americans.
Yeah.
These people can buy more drugs. They're fine.
Yeah.
But when I had them, I was selling. Also, all these stories are so like white woman-esque because I'm like on the street with thousands of dollars, not being worried at all about it, which is insane. So I was like selling it to like NYU students that I didn't know. I was giving people cocaine, just being like,
good for you, turn a profit.
Yeah. And I was just like, guess how you find friends, by the way.
Yeah.
Giving away free drugs.
Yeah.
So I just like, I sold a bunch of them. Also, the weed was so good. It smelled so potent. And it was like in my drawer in the dorms, like locked up. And I was so paranoid because you could fucking smell it.
Yeah.
But no one knew me. That's the thing. That's the thing about being like a loser is that they're like, I don't even know that this girl was at the party.
Yeah.
Like,
I was going to say, wouldn't they know it was you?
No.
No, they didn't even realize you were there.
Yeah, you should have paid attention.
These people suck.
Yeah, they suck.
This is on them.
I agree.
Yeah, that's on them.
I've never felt guilty about this. Not for a second.
Good for you.
And like I made weed brownies with some of the weed.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to make weed brownies, so I put way too much in there.
Yeah.
And I ate one of those and I was high for like 2.5 days.
Oh God.
It was fucked.
That's my nightmare.
It was so bad. Kaylin, I can't even. I was like at one point like lying on the ground and they were like putting blankets on me like I was some sort of like Vietnam. Like she needs warmth. Like I was so fucked up. There was this girl in my dorm who was so nice who would like take me for walks because I was just like staring.
Oh my God, that sounds so horrible.
It's so fucked up. And I never like smoked weed really in any serious way. And I was like, this is it. I did it. Because back then it was like weed was like scary still in certain ways. So it was like, oh, I broke my brain. Like, this is it.
This is how I die.
I'm going to be
it's like that
handicapped forever.
That other folklore
of
the guy who took acid and then never came out of it.
I have very big, like I almost hallucinate when I smoke weed. I have like really big reactions to it. So like a crazy loaded weed brownie, I was so scared. I'm like shuddering thinking about how scared I was. I was like FaceTiming my mom. You like,
and she's like, Andrea, we don't talk like that.
My mom's wildly cool. So she was just like, she was like, listen, drink a glass of water and go to bed and we'll go away eventually. Yeah. So she's a cool lady.
If I told my mom, she'd freak out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a very, even though my parents are super like, they weren't strict in like a repressive, like Catholic way.
Yeah.
They were just very like focused on success.
Yeah.
And so they were like, but they weren't cruel. My dad was cruel, but my mom was like loving and understanding of like being a human being, you know.
That's nice.
So they're different types of people, definitely, but like she's the type of person where I would tell her if I did something bad rather than hide it so she could like help me. Type thing.
Yeah, I have the opposite. I was like, keep it from my mom. Whatever you do, just keep it from her.
Yeah. That's a tough thing.
It's fine. We get along now. It's not a bad thing, but it's like back in the day, I could never come to her with a problem like that.
Oh, really? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think that's often like, I feel like moms are sort of cast as like my mom, like I tell her everything.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of tough. Like dads are always just, you know, absent. We're like culturally totally like, dads.
Yeah.
But when moms are kind of shitty, it's like a different, you know, and I'm not even saying that your mom's shitty, but like,
no, she wasn't at all. She was a good mom, but it wasn't.
You got to hide it.
Yeah, you got to hide your misbehavior. But when I lived under her house, I wasn't misbehaving. When I got to college and stuff, then I went,
yeah. You went to Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were drinking and partying in New York City.
Oh, yeah.
It was
like
the
best.
Art students who are like out of their mind.
Yeah. It was wild.
Yeah. That's cool.
What else is on this list? Let's do another one, baby.
All right. Tackled by the Cops. You want to?
Let's do it.
You want to hear that? Yeah, that one was it's tied in because I was not dating that goth guy.
Okay.
And there used to be like Market Hotel still exists, but back in the day there used to be a bunch of DIY venues in Brooklyn. Williamsburg was still like Bushwick for reference. So like I would hang out in Williamsburg and it wasn't as like shady as Bushwick can be, but it wasn't like nice by any means. So I would go to a lot of like warehouse parties on Kent Ave, like by the water. It was fucking cool. Like they would do like one floor was like aquatic adventure, and there was like bitches in mermaid outfits, and then the next floor was like another theme. Like it was incredible and like a really cool thing to be a part of, like different bands, and I was really like having a great fucking time. But at the same time, I really wanted to like impress these boys and be cool in front of them. So that guy was at this party and he loved Marilyn Manson.
Oh, God.
I know.
I mean, God bless.
I know. And so Marilyn Manson.
The signs are all around us.
I know, it's literally.
And we never pay attention
it's
to
crazy.
them.
It is crazy. Like, he's so obviously a piece of shit in retrospect.
Yeah.
But, I was a little baby deer.
I know.
So
I know.
Marilyn Manson had an absinthe brand called Mansynth for a while. I know. Caitlin's like, that's the end of the podcast.
Of course.
Yeah, and like the label was like one of the fucked up cool. I mean, his art's actually pretty cool. He is an awful pig rapist, but the label was like a ghoulish cool thing, and so I bought a bottle of Manson to like impress him.
You contributed to his wealth.
Oh my god, I know. I'm like putting into his 401k. Oh, by the way, his parents insanely rich.
Really?
Yeah, insanely rich.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
He's like Upper East Side. You know how people who were raised in Manhattan are like strange?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was one of those.
Okay.
Yeah. So I brought the bottle of Manson, then I was like drinking it with him, and then I drank like I was like close to alcohol poisoning level how much I drank.
Yeah.
Just to be like, I can fucking party.
I'm hanging. Yeah.
Absinthe is so strong.
Yes.
It's so strong. It's like grain liquor. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And so I had to pee and was not really walking super great. And I tried to make it up the stairs to the bathroom, and I'm like, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Also the bathrooms in these places are like disgusting.
Oh yeah.
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 And so I'm like, I gotta pee outside.
Yeah.
I've gotten 2 tickets for public urination. So like I'm like, I can never do it again.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's cleaner. It's safer for me to pee outside than to go into this bathroom.
You're not gonna get tetanus.
Exactly. So my friend who, not the guy I was in love with, but another dude that we hung out with, was like on mushrooms. He was tripping balls. He had to go to the bathroom. And so I was like, all right, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, we're going to go out and we're going to pee in the alley. And we're peeing, and the cops were hanging around this rave. Like they would hang around these raves. They couldn't go in because they couldn't like prove that anything was happening.
Yeah.
But they knew that shenanigans would ensue, so they would just wait nearby.
Yeah.
And like, obviously catch us doing some bullshit. So it's snowing too, which is an important part.
Yeah.
Snowing.
You're just leaving
outside of
evidence
warehouse.
of your
Yeah,
piss.
oh yeah, just in a golden puddle.
Yeah.
And I had like cowboy boots on. Do you remember those American Apparel dresses that had the swoopy back and they were like tight body?
Yes.
Yes.
I think I
So-
still have some.
Oh yeah, me too.
yeah.
That is like a moment in time, those
Yes.
dresses. So I was
Mhm.
wearing that and cowboy boots, and I had like an angled bob. I was like a
Mhm.
real artsy bitch. And I was peeing, and then I heard the cops go on like their speaker, like, we see you. We know what you're doing. Like, stay where you are. And because I'm Canadian and I had like a visa to go to school there,
Oh no.
I was freaking. I was also drunk out of my mind. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm going to go to jail
Yeah.
and I'm going to get deported back to Canada
Mhm.
and I'm not going to graduate college. Like, I was so fucking terrified. And so I ran. I was like, you got to run. That's your only fucking, I have to run, which is never, by the way, never run.
Never run.
Never run from the cops.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't talk to them, but don't run away from them. Okay? Just stay where you are. And so I ran, and it's snowing, and I'm wearing like cowboy boots, and like I almost outran. I was so close. I'm so fast. Okay? Rugby. It's like
Yeah, I
dodging
believe it.
and shit. And it was a male and a female police officer, and the male officer actually jumped in the air, grabbed me by the ankles, and like pulled me down.
Oh my God.
I got like bodied by the cops. Okay. And people saw it. There were people outside. Like, it was fucking insane. Like, brutality level.
Yeah.
I like, that's very tone deaf to say, but like I did get slammed on the ground.
Yeah.
And then they cuffed me, they put me on top of the car. Like, it was the full fucking thing.
Yeah.
And in retrospect, they obviously thought I had fucking drugs.
Oh.
They were like, why are you running away? You obviously have you're doing something much worse than just like peeing.
Yeah.
Which in retrospect, like, I'm so dumb. So they searched me. And I actually had this was like such a specific memory. I had stolen, those plastic owls that people put on their property to like scare away bullshit. I don't know. This is like people with homes.
Yeah.
You buy them at hardware stores. Someone had spray painted that owl gold, and I stole that because I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
So they're like going through my purse, and it's like absinthe, a big gold owl. Like, it was just like so bizarre. And they were hitting the owl against the car because they thought there was like drugs in the owl.
Oh.
I was like, I just thought it was pretty. Like, I'm crying immediately.
Yeah.
Also, cry. If you're a white woman, cry. Sorry. That's the way our society is. I wish it wasn't, but it's the truth. Use your privilege or whatever. I'm crying immediately. They're like patting me down. I'm covered in pee. Also.
Like, you can pat me down if you want, but your hands are going to get damp.
Go ahead. I am dehydrated.
It's still warm.
And then the male police officer went to run my ID, and then the female cop, God bless this woman, just like saw me, and I think she was like, this girl's an idiot. Like, she's not doing anything bad. And she was like, if we're gonna send her to like lockdown, like this is gonna be a whole fucking thing. She's gonna be crying. She's gonna ask for a lawyer. We know that.
Yeah.
So they were like, because I could have gotten resisting arrest.
Yeah.
But instead they gave me tickets for summons for public urination and disorderly conduct.
Okay.
So they gave me a break, which was like life changing. Because if I had gotten resisting arrest, it would have been like actually a legal thing that could have stayed on my record.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave me the summons, and then I went home, and I took the summons and I scanned it. They're pink tickets.
Yeah.
And you know, everything's filled out, and I scanned it. Do you remember the plotter printer? I don't know if you had this at Pratt, but there were printers that could print things gigantic size.
Uh-huh.
So I printed out like human size my public urination ticket, and I put it up on my wall. And I was like, I'm so cool.
See, that's artists.
Yeah.
Making lemonade out of lemons, baby.
You know, just that trauma to content cycle.
Yes.
But years later, I saw it, and they put my sex as male on that ticket, and I could have gotten out of it.
Oh,
And I'm like, fuck.
why'd they put you as male?
Because I was a tough, husky lady.
They thought you were a drag queen?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it was just a mistake. I have no idea. I don't know what sort of gender binary thing was going on in their brain.
Yeah.
But
this one's fast.
Yeah.
There's no way this is a lady.
She's scrappy.
Yeah.
She's very tall.
5'10". That's a man right there.
Yeah, that is
I don't
a
know why I
man.
made him Southern, but I did.
And in many ways, I'm manlier than most adult males I meet.
Oh, I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm more
I totally
masculine
understand that.
and mature than you. I could
Yes.
save a household quicker
Yeah.
than you could. So
I love it.
yeah. So pretty unscathed for how fucked up that could have been.
Yes.
But you know,
That's good.
Yeah, it was
Cry.
pretty good. Yeah.
Always cry.
always cry.
Always cry.
Mhm.
Let's take a look here. Okay, I think we have time for one more story.
All
Pick a
right.
good one. Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. You know what? Fucking a married woman with her husband in the other room is a good one. It's just, I guess, because there's infidelity in my family. That's why my parents had to divorce. My dad cheated on my mom. So I have a very big, not that you have to have infidelity to be against fucking a married person.
Yeah.
That's a bad thing to do, and you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But me personally, I'm like, I'll never be that.
Yeah.
You know, it's very loaded.
Yes.
So that's why this one is because it's so out of character regularly.
Mhm.
So I used to hang out at this bar in my watering hole. It was called Gordon Bennett's. It was in Williamsburg. It was a very cool dark wood kind of vibe. And there were regulars there, and I was one of them. And there was a woman named Lorianne who was very hot, very nice, very charming, but she was married. And she would come in there with her husband all the time. I knew them.
Yeah.
And then one night I was there drinking by myself, and she came, and I was probably crying about something.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. No one understand. Whatever. You know the deal.
Yeah.
And
I'm so low.
no one understands. I'm so misunderstood.
Yeah.
And she started talking to me, and I just don't. I've hooked up with a handful of women. It has to be very obvious to me that someone is hitting on me, because women are so friendly.
Yes.
We're okay to touch each other.
Yes.
You know,
hugging, back rubs, the
Yeah.
hair, the whole thing.
I'll
Even
whip
if
out-
you're kissing.
yeah, you're like, this is a friend. I love
Yeah.
a new friend I have.
Women just kiss
Yeah,
sometimes.
we finger each other.
Oh, are you hitting on
Yeah,
me?
whoa. Yeah, I'll tell a female friend about my relationship with my mother. Women friendships are so intimate. So she was like talking to me and comforting me. And then she was like reading my palms.
Yeah.
Which in retrospect, I'm like, oh yeah, she's like touching you.
Yes.
It's a very different type thing. We're drinking together all night. And then she said, let's go back to my apartment and smoke weed. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
And we get there and then we're in the living room and she's like, my husband is sleeping in the other room. He doesn't care if we fuck. And I was like, whoa, was this what was going on? Like, it was so like, oh, okay. And I was just like, I think this was maybe the first time no, there was like a threesome, but this was the first time it was like okay, I'm like having gay sex.
Yeah.
And I had wanted to. And I was like, I already got drunk with this lady. I'm here, weed.
She read my future and she was in it. Oh.
She's like, I see you fucking me on my kitchen floor later.
Kitchen floor?
Yeah, I really went. It was cool.
Wow.
It was very cool.
That's where the mice go.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And Andrea Allan with a strap on.
A strap
First time. Wild. So crazy.
That's an apparatus.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's the hardware.
You gotta step into
That's
it.
hardware.
That's
okay?
crazy.
It wasn't even a casual finger blast. I was like her dom.
Wow.
Yeah, and we went into her husband's their bedroom and he was sleeping and we like went in there and we're like it was like
What?
mean and shitty. It was so fucked up. But like she afterwards, which I'll finish the story, but she used to fuck everyone. I found later, women, men, everyone.
Okay.
And the husband didn't know.
Oh,
like she told me that the husband knew and he very much didn't. So like
Oh
he'd come
my
into the bar
God.
and like half the people in there had like fucked his wife and been like putz. Like it was so bad.
That's
so
devastating.
bad. Yeah, it really sucked. But yeah, I remember us like hooking up and then
Did she give you the strap on?
I can't remember. I blacked in and out of it.
Yeah.
Like the strap-on memory was like crystallized because it was so intense.
Yeah.
But I was like, we're making out here. We're on the couch. Now we're in the kitchen. I remember the floor being cold and my knees hurting and being like, this is very physically tough. Like I remember thinking about men being like, this is actually kind of hard.
Yeah. Respect. Gentlemen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just very like intense. And I think like if you are closeted, for lack of a better word, I wouldn't call myself a closeted person because I didn't have to like come out as gay to my parents, but
yeah,
I had something going on. So I think the first time that you do have sex with someone of the same sex, it's so intense because it's like, holy shit, I'm doing the thing.
Yeah.
And now I feel really good, but also like really weird. And I'm wearing a strap on, which is insane. And this is in the kitchen, and she's married, and I feel confused.
Yeah.
So it's just like a lot of really conflicting feelings.
Yes.
And so then afterwards, we were sitting on the couch and she's like, do you want to like stay and like cuddle and you can leave early in the morning? And I freaked out. I just freaked out because I was like, cuddle? Like, I'm not gay. Come on. I'm not gay. Like, come on.
No, that's gay.
That's gay.
And you're conscious, so I don't want to cuddle you. I only cuddle the unconscious.
You have to be in high school and an emo guy.
And much shorter than me.
Yes. I have to drape you on me like a coat.
Are your parents rich? No? Get out of here.
Get out. Come on. So I freaked out, I think, because of the intimacy of cuddling and the idea of like being like intimate or attracted, or to me it was like sex is one thing and intimacy is another, which is a great way to live your life until it's not.
It's a good way to get the clap 3 times.
Yeah. Oh, like once.
What?
One time.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Pretty good. That antibiotic is strong. Holy shit. I'm gonna warn you. Just heads up. That's my third tip. If you're gonna take an antibiotic for the clap, you have to make sure you're at home because you're gonna get dizzy. So just so you know.
There we go.
Yeah.
And this is now a learning podcast.
Yeah, I think I've taught a lot of lessons.
I think so.
So I ran home.
Yeah.
I think I left my shoes, skirt, something. I wasn't fully clothed. I was running home, like maybe barefoot, which I've done more than once in New York City, which is crazy.
I know. Now you really are going to get tetanus.
Have the clap.
Yeah.
And so I just ran home and I like got into the bath and was like crying.
Oh, wow.
And I called my ex-boyfriend actually because I'm like, if I talk to my ex-boyfriend, I'll be straight somehow. Like,
Yeah.
And just was very confused by it. And I think because there was the husband and she was like not a good person.
Yes.
That it felt worse and bad.
It felt like it rubbed off on you.
Yeah, like it
a
did
little
something
bit.
like dirty.
You have that stink now.
I do. I'm like a harlot. I'm like a big gay harlot. A big gay drunk slut.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it was fun, you know, but not a way I wanted to like explore my sexuality, and certainly not the person that I wanted to do that with. So kind of regrettable.
Are they still together?
No. I'm like, she's dead.
She's dead?
No, she's not. She's not. Yeah. I don't know where she is now. Every once in a while I'll go on Facebook and like look her up and I'm like, still hot.
Yeah?
Nice.
Well, good job.
Yeah, she still got it.
Yeah. Good for her.
God bless you.
Kind of.
Yeah, you're actually kind of an asshole.
Yeah. You don't deserve to be hot, but you are. It makes me look better.
Don't deserve to be hot.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know. Bad personality.
Andrea, this was so fun.
I loved it.
What an angel you are.
Thank you.
This was great.
I've said some pretty bad things, but thank you for calling me an angel.
No, it takes talking about them is another thing. Some people bury them and just become mean.
Yes.
You've accepted them and become nice.
Yeah, I think I was always nice
Yes.
at my core, but that's, I think, one of the hallmarks of knowing that you have a problem with drinking is that you become a unrecognizable person when you drink. And that ultimately was why I stopped, because I was like, this lady sucks.
Yeah.
When I wake up and I know what happened, I'm like, that is not my vibe.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm
You
doing
did
pretty
it.
good. Thanks, buddy.
High five.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Instagram. Andrea Comedy 69. Yeah.
Fucking
Still
Fonzie
a
loves
pig.
it. Yeah.
Everything runs through that. You guys know social media.
Yeah.
And then Dog Pig, my podcast about sex and love. Check that out. Oh, it's all there. fansly.com/dogpig69 is where you can see pictures of me naked.
Hey.
You want to see my gash?
We got an OnlyFans situation, people.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's
So those are my
great.
spots, yeah.
Yeah. Make that money. You look great.
Thank you.
All right.
You do too.
Andrea Allan, everybody. Let's clap her out.